All right, this is either gonna work or it ain't gonna work. Trying to do Facebook Live in the dungeon. So, let's see. Let's see if we can get anybody on here. Volks Group. So, let me see. I can hear sound on the iPad. Alan, what's up, bud? Oh, my wife's on here. Can somebody tell me if they can hear me? I see 23 people on here. The thing is I gotta be able to see comments. Tell me if they can hear me. I know I see 23 people on here. The thing is I gotta be able to see comments. iPad is barely on Wi-Fi. My cell phone is on cellular. Patrick, write a comment because I'm not seeing any comments. Last thing I wanted to do was go back downstairs. I wanted to do this in my tiny little dungeon. But we might not have good enough signal. Oh, look, I think I found it. Loud and clear. Rob, Chuck, Will, Jason. Vacation's over. Let's see, there are comments. Yes. Slow connection. Let's see. T-Barnes. Kaimi. Will. 40 people on here. 40 people want to log on here and look at my mug. Let's see. Man. I wonder if I got to, Travis was the last comment I see. I log back on here. Mike must be nice. Mo, yo, what's up? Donald, Gary, Toby, Mike, good looking mug. Come on, Mike. Trying to see if the comments keep catching up, but I almost think I have to refresh in order to refresh the comments. Don't go downstairs, the window lickers are down. I totally agree. See, I'm not seeing any comments on my cell phone. You are loud and clear, drinking Everclear. Nope, it is just tea. Just drinking some tea. Miss Joy, Teresa, Dorian. Time for some racing and partying at the track. I agree. Kyle. Oh, hey. Don Viscatus. See, Dawn's the last comment I see that says, hi, everyone. But if I refresh it, there'll be more. Well, Mr. Sexy JK. I don't know about that, Shane. I'm here and alive. That is a good thing, Mr. Morse. 833. Dave Perkins. Travis, pour some Crown Peach in that tea. Wife's at work. No alcohol for me if my wife is at work. But that does sound good. All right, well, I'm just going to refresh my iPad every once in a while to get some comments. It is 7:34. I came to the conclusion that I got to get my ass in gear. It's been a really, really, really weird off season. I'm sure a good majority of you all agree with me. But ultimately, we got to play the hand we're dealt, and we got to make the best we can with it. And mainly I'm talking about Doug, you know. I definitely miss that guy. We used to talk a lot, daily, whether it was text, whether it was on the phone. We would just call and just shoot the shit and try to think of the most off-the-wall shit we could. So yeah, I can pretty much guarantee I'm doing this for Doug right now. And I think we should all do it for Doug. Some people went to his celebration, some couldn't. But it was an amazing get-together. And it was really cool to see everyone that was there. And there was definitely some really cool stories. You know, talking about Doug, and it was just a really cool thing. But everyone needs to remember that it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And we need to get out, we need to have fun, we need to make memories and just have a good time, and do it with those that you care about, do it with those that you love, do it with your family, do it with your friends. But ultimately, we just got to have fun. That's the most important thing. So let's chit chat a little bit. We got our first race coming up. It's obviously coming up sooner than later. I'm a little behind on some stuff, trying to catch up. I can assure you I will give it 110%. Artwork is getting worked on right now. I've talked to a lot of sponsors. Majority have stuck with the group, and some have stepped aside from the group, but that's all okay. I'm forever grateful for everyone's support, and I look forward to having a really, really, really cool year with our two events that we got going on. I'll speak a little bit about the third event that was a possibility. Myself and my team, Jason, we went down to Mendota and checked it out, and met with the the track owners down there, and chatted with them a little bit. Walked the track and talked and everything else, but between Jason and I, we came to the conclusion that we didn't think it was the right fit for at least 2026. We may think differently in 2027, but we'll reevaluate and see what's going on towards the end of the year, and see if it's something that we might be able to fit into our schedule for next year. Ultimately, I would love to do 3 events and make it a true series, but I have no regrets for the last 2 years with our 2 events that I think we do really, really, really well. And myself and my team strive to make those 2 events better than the last previous year. So definitely want to give thanks to Samoa, and definitely want to give thanks to Medford. The track crews at both locations always go above and beyond to allow us to do what we do. We're very lucky to be able to be welcomed to those facilities and they allow us to do what we do and how we do it. And it's definitely not a common occurrence, I think, with some of these other facilities. Let me go back and see if I can read some comments. What's up, party people? Mr. Jason's in. Martin, Chris, Travis, Lo. Yeah, Everclear is not talking. Rest in peace, Dougie Fresh. I totally agree. Mike, amen. That's the last comment. Let's refresh and see. Damn, see. Time doesn't wait. Get out there and make it happen. A toast to Doug. It's Doug's name we race. Amen. Word. Thanks, Brendan. Sounds good, John. Martin, check it out. Jared. Quality over quantity, Jim. Annette, I haven't been ignoring you. I'm sorry. I definitely need to return a couple messages this weekend. Let's see, refresh. Let's see. So I'm gonna ramble on a little bit more. Hey Cruz, Mr. Volks vlogging. What's up, Mr. Stoffel? The first race coming up, Memorial Day Mayhem 3, May 22nd through 24th, Samoa Drag Strip. Series sponsor, Driven Racing Oil again. It has been a pleasure to work with them. I'm excited that they're on board for this year. And I think you'll see some really cool stuff this year with Driven and the Volks Group. Our event sponsor, none other than A33 in memory of Amanda. Class sponsors, Ultra Pro, M45 Manufacturing, Pro, Ron Loomis Racing, Street NA, Gearworks Transaxle, Super Index, Auto Europa, Sportsman Index. I have something in the works for that. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. But one way or another, I want the Sportsman Index class to always be Doug's class, because Doug was the single most important ambassador for the sport of VW drag racing. He wanted to see everybody race. He wanted to see everybody have fun. If somebody needed help, he wanted to help them. And the Sportsman Index was the epitome of Doug, in my opinion. Flower Power class is Der Speed Shack again. So thank you to all of those sponsors. Let's see, refresh this. This is annoying. I'm gonna have to get something upstairs to get a better signal. Mendota's a great place. I don't think for the faster VW guys it's a good enough track yet to be safe for our group. With that said, they're a great group and they're working on the surface every day. Can't agree more. And when we went out there, I mean, hands down, Jason is who I need to listen to, not me. He's by far more knowledgeable in every aspect possible in drag racing and everything else. So when he's part of our team, and I know that all of you guys respect him and value his opinion. And when he said, I'm not sure that we're ready for this yet, so be it. I'm okay with that decision. But like he said, we'll keep an eye on it and see if it's something that fits within our program for next year. Let's see. What's up, Nick? Jason, I'll send you a message. Okay, I have a fear that I'm going to be missing comments because I don't refresh fast enough, but I'm definitely not trying to ignore anybody. If anybody comes up and I don't answer their question, just send me a message and I'll make sure to answer what you have. Trying to bowl and watch this at the same time. Nick, go play with your balls. All right. I'm caught up there. Let's talk associate sponsors. Oh, God. Associate sponsors: Marvin and Sons Construction, FTD, TK Motorsports, Hobby W's, Turbos Direct, Friel Group, Volkswagen, Vochitos Media, Classic Restoration, Shepherd Performance, Shorties, John Sugar Racing, Uncle Mike Shaved Ice, Hoosier Tires West, Paradise Motorsports, Beetle Power, JM Heavy Equipment, Carcraft, Cap Fab, German Motor Works, Gapatio Clink, One Eyed Kitty Designs, Move Motorsports, Gaskill Trucking, DK Machine. Our car show sponsors will be Humbug VW Club and Hot VWs. Now, if I read that list and I did not say your name and you sent me a message and said that you're in, I'm saying I'm sorry right now. Sometimes I'm not very good at updating stuff and keeping things updated, but if I missed your name and you specifically told me that you want to be in on this, please send me a message, okay? And I apologize. Let's see. Hour outside of Fresno. It's literally it's very small. It's a very small, dusty little town. Great family, just like Annette said. But they're making strides and they're improving upon their program and their facility. Like Jason said, weekly and daily. And they're throwing some really cool events out there. And we had a lot of fun out there when we checked it out. So again, those are the sponsors I have down on my list. If I forgot you, please send me a message. It was not intentional, but just let me know. Let's see. The next thing I wanted to talk about, I wrote really crappy notes, but one thing I wanted to post or talk about was that Justin posted the upcoming rules for 2026. Doesn't matter what class you're in. Some have some, little changes, and some don't really have anything. But whatever class you're in, I need you to go read the rules. That way you're aware of what's going on. I think Justin had no changes in Ultra Pro. There were a couple changes in wording stuff with Pro. Street NA had a majority of the changes in defining some things. And Street NA is going to start to weigh cars. It's a pounds per cubic inch class now. And we can pump motors now. We have a pump. The Volks Group has a pump. The Volks Group has scales. And we can do all of that. All right. After Street NA, we have Super Index. The changes within Super Index, I believe, we added to the index choices. We added 8.2 and 8.5. All right. Sportsman Index, I believe we took 8.5 off and put that into Super. So Sportsman now starts at 9.5 and goes all the way up to 14.5. So we're going to try to entice some of the slower guys. We've had some concerns and guys have been requesting some slower indexes for the beginners and the more stockish Volkswagens. So we tried to accommodate with that. Flower Power, 0 changes, I believe. Let's see. What's up, Devin? Mr. Marcus? All right. 65 people on here. All right. Refresh one more time. If anybody has any questions, please Try to get it up. Let me see if I can read it. But Annette, I am just drinking some tea. My wife's at work at the hospital, and when she is at work and at the hospital, I typically do not drink alcohol. Weird story. Next time I see you, I'll tell you about it. But I just stick to tea, coffee, water. Yeah. Let's see. Randy, can I put together a contingency purse for the sportsman class if they run the Doug Memorial sticker the whole week and win the overall race? I will throw $100. If anyone else would like to kick in to the bump it up, that would be great. Maybe do one of Doug's favorites with first round losers award, assuming you're cool with that. Of course, Randy. And if you need any help from me on that as well, let me know. And just remember, you may have to remind me a couple times because my mind is typically frazzled. Mr. Durkee, thanks for tuning in. Shane, I don't know about the cafeteria. I try not to speak on the cafeteria and let Tom talk about that, but I am not sure right now. There we go. A couple other things I wanted to talk about. I've seen a couple posts and a couple questions in regards to containment. I appreciate everyone considering containment and thinking and talking about containment. I think it's really important. Downtime sucks. Safety is important. Yeah, I think it's very, very, very important. More and more tracks, more and more promoters, more and more, all of the above are requiring containment. It's just a good thing. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, sometimes the stuff costs money, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, you can go, your imagination is the only thing holding you back from fabricating some sort of containment if you don't want to go out and buy some containment. You can get some cardboard or poster board or something and just start cutting and try to go from, the pulley to the bell housing and, from valve cover to valve cover. And a lot of guys have tried to incorporate the full flow filter area and stuff like that. Try to have at least a 2-inch lip all the way around. Pig mats are your friends. They absorb everything. Yeah, it's just, we can't be too safe, and racing is not cheap. I acknowledge that. I accept that. But it's just, it's a good thing. It's good for us to do our due diligence to, be safe, not only for ourselves, but also for others. Let's see. Hey, Steve. Can the event shirts have a pocket for Doug? I'm not sure, Will, but we're definitely, or we will definitely do something in memory of Doug. I look forward to, Doug's celebration that we had in SoCal was awesome, and it was really, really, really cool to hear the stories. There were so many people that talked. It was cool. And I see no reason that we can't do something very similar at our first race in Samoa. A lot of us get there on Friday. We don't test. We don't do anything on Friday. So maybe Friday night we can all, gather around and just talk stories about Doug. I know, what do they say? Everybody has a VW story, but I would, the majority of us out there all have a Doug story too. And it's really cool to share those memories. And that, again, that's, like I said, the important thing is to make memories, and you get to talk about these memories and think about these memories. Let's see. There's definitely sponsors out there that support the Volks Group that also do, containment stuff. Loomis obviously does a pan for wheelie bars. I'm thinking he was working on some sort of pan that would work with no wheelie bars. I'm not sure where he's at on that yet. And then I know John at FTD obviously does the diaper for the motor and also a diaper for the trans. And he does them for all of the different trans, whether it's, type 1, bus box, Mendy. He does them for everything. Totally agree, Annette. Kyle, I haven't heard either. It was definitely really cool to see Dee and sit down and chat with her at Doug's celebration. She looked really good. It was really cool. When you guys see me look over here to the other side, I'm trying to refresh the iPad and make sure I keep up with the comments. But so let's see. Please read the rules. I appreciate everyone talking about containment. Containment's a good thing. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I want to talk about payouts a little bit. As everyone knows, I mean, most would understand that guaranteed payouts are not for the weak. It is very, it's an intimidating promise to make. It's a stressful promise to make. I don't know. I'll know in the next week or so if I'm going to do guaranteed payouts again. If the payouts are going to be guaranteed, you might see some classes that are a little bit less, but there's also a goal to make sure that potentially pay out farther and spread it around some more. So just know that that's being thought of. And it's been on my mind, for the last 2-3 weeks, what to do, and just crunching numbers and trying to figure out what the best plan of attack is on that one. But I can guarantee you, one guarantee that I can guarantee is that the payouts are still going to be respectable. I've had some good teachers in my life with giving away the farm, and the biggest reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to see it stop. I don't want to see it die. I just want to do it for Doug, and I want us all to have fun, and we'll definitely make it worth your while. Let's see. Randy said that Dee's doing well. I talked to Clyde a couple weeks ago. Kyle, the banana. Okay, so let's see. We've talked about payouts. Does anybody got any more questions? I obviously wanted to get on here and, like I said, show my mug and talk about a couple things and talk about the sponsors I have written down. And but I wanted to be on here to answer questions as well. See if I can refresh this. No. Yeah, Jason. I mean, you definitely can. You feel it's not pain. It's just you feel the stress. Guaranteed payouts are one thing with minimum car counts, but guaranteed payouts with no minimum car counts suck. I mean, in the last couple of years, there's been some where it's like, God, man, like Pro Stock, for instance. I paid $5,000 to win with a little help from a sponsor too. I think we paid $5,000 to win, or 2 or 25. I think it was $2,000 for runner up, and I had 2 cars, so I kept my word because that's the most important thing, and paid out $7,000 to winner and runner up combined with only 2 cars. So, yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. All right, let's see. I think Kaimi was the last one. All right, he's still the last one. Come on, guys, questions. Yeah, it's okay. It's not a comment, though. See. Has anybody done anything in the off season? I've definitely seen a handful of photos, with new parts coming out to new builds, motor builds. There's definitely there's definitely there's a couple classes where guys are definitely improving upon their programs, and there's people already been out testing. There's already been people making adjustments and changes after testing. And I think you're going to see a handful of people in numerous classes that are definitely going to come out swinging. Oh, Kyle, that banana. Pie contest. I think that was a very, let's see. Ken, I'll go over that when I get the flyer. Again, I'm behind on my artwork, but you guys can pick up any flyer, and then the last 3 years, I've never raised any prices. And that's me, like, man, I hate charging people money, and I hate doing this, and I hate doing that. And, it's, yeah, I don't expect any huge changes. If it's going to be something that's going to be very small. I don't have a flyer in front of me. Shane says, I think keeping the track alive is more important than a huge payouts. Tony's making some badass shit. Preston, making engine blocks and soon to have heads for Travis. It's been an insane off season. Let's go back to pie contest. Sorry, Jim. I have talked to a couple individuals about the pie contest. That was definitely something that it was all started by Doug. He was a huge advocate with the pie contest, and I mean, we have been all over the pie contest, with apple pie to run what you brung pie to, Q16 race gas pie to, it's been a wild ride with the pie contest, but it has been fun. I would love to see the pie contest continue. Samoa, Samoa and Medford are both somewhat the same. They both really don't have facilities. I mean, if you're going to bring a pie, it's already got to be cooked, or you got to have the ability to cook it at the track. I have an individual that has said that she would like to potentially, kind of be the ringleader of the pie contest. But it's something I definitely would like to see continue. Let's see. Brian, you're not kidding anybody, bud. You have never, that I know of, missed a race. You'll be there to make a pass, and I'm sure you'll come out swinging. Maya should be driving here soon. So there we go. Mr. John's wife, Chantel, would be more than happy to keep it going. So I think it's definitely a possibility and doable for Samoa. Looks like she's working on a trophy too for the pie contest. $20 pies for Medford, Bob. It's totally doable. I don't know what the most is that we've ever had, but it's been up there. Torres off the trailer. Oh boy. Carney and Torres. Let's see. Brian, you getting that 4-inch board together or buying some 6-inch slicks? Jason says, tell everyone you know about the Volks Group races. Let's hype it to make it bigger than the old Bugorama days. The cars and people are out there. Let's get them all talking. It's probably a little early. It may not be too early, but Jason, I want to chat with you about Medford. Yeah, I would love to try to see if we can incorporate some small tire guys again. I don't know if anybody else is running another race again the same weekend for Labor Day weekend, but it would be really cool to see if we can invite some guys. All right, caught up. Corey, no problem. Did you give Scott a jingle, or did he contact you? I posted about him, and then I sent him a message too, and there's definitely a handful of us that have utilized Scott. I've had a couple cars myself moved around with Scott, and I know there's a handful of Volks Group individuals that have also utilized Scott. Awaiting a quote. Okay, good. I'll send him another message and make sure he stays on it. Let me think here for a second. I know that I talked about sponsors. Did I talk about deadline? If I didn't contact you, and you have not been a part of what's going on, and you want to be a part of what's going on, send me a message. I can send you the information, but the deadline to hop on board is probably going to be the middle of next week, I'm guessing. My fingers are crossed. I really want to get this art done so I can get posters printed and flyers printed and get all that stuff going and send some flyers up north. I have a couple individuals that I will send them messages and see if we can continue to spread them around town and all that stuff. Check your notes. I'm horrible at it. I'll write my notes and then I'll lose my paper. And then I have to start a new paper and I don't remember what I had on the paper. And then I get everything down and I think, okay, I have everything. And no, I didn't even come close to having everything. Schedule for Samoa. It's going to be really close to what it's always been. You know, we don't run on Friday because no lights. We'll run on Saturday. We'll see what we can do about judging, you know, what time to run the cars better. It may be better to see if we can run Saturday morning because we obviously start eliminations on Sunday morning. And maybe if we have the room, we can put the car show, you know, in an area that's not going to interfere necessarily with the staging lanes. There's just a couple things to think about and get with part of my team and discuss some ideas. I think that's what you mean for schedule, though. But it's spinning around in here. We may make some subtle changes that work better for when the racers run. Doreen, yeah, I have a notebook. I use it, but then I print out what I write, and then I write notes on my printouts, and I'm just all over the place. Go over sponsors again. Yes. Series sponsor, Driven Racing Oil. Event sponsor, A33 in memory of Amanda. Our class sponsors, Ultra Pro, M45 Manufacturing, Pro, RLR, Street NA Gearworks Transaxle, Super, I think actually the Ultra Pro, it's MTE/M45 Manufacturing, I think. Tony, let me know if that's correct. Pro RLR, Street NA Gearworks Transaxle, Super Index Auto Europa, stay tuned for Sportsman Index, Flower Powers, Dirt Speed Shack. Associate sponsors, Marvin & Sons Construction, FTD, TK Motorsports, Hobby W's, Turbos Direct, Frio Group, Volkswagen, Bochitos Media, Classic Restoration, Shepherd Performance, Shorties, John Sugar Racing, Uncle Mike Shaved Ice, Hoosier Tires West, Paradise Motorsports, Beetle Power, JM Heavy Equipment, Carcraft, Cap Fab, German Motorworks, Gapatio Clink, One-Eyed Kitty Designs, Move Motorsports, Gaskill Trucking, and DK Machine. Our car show hosts are the Humbugs VW Club and Hot VWs. Let me refresh here. Okay. Go play on the beach. Night, Mr. Moores. Tony, correct. Okay. 45 Manufacturing, MT. Trophy versus black versus big printed checks. As a racer, big printed checks are the best. Tony, shit, Dave's in here. Anything for you, Bobby. I love it when people call Bob Bobby. All right. Or Roberto. What is it? After 8 o'clock, I think he gets called Roberto. Oh shit, Tony's saying, are we going to throw down 1,000 off the trailer? Huh? Thank you all the sponsors keeping this badass sport going. Oh, all right. Dave says he will bring some cash. No testing. Oh, gosh. I love the way this is starting already. Tony versus Chris off the trailer. That a boy, Dave. What's Chris bringing? I see he's got the fastback's been up for sale for a while, but I saw he refreshed the ad today. What is this? Who do I have here? Okay. Oh my gosh. I miss this stuff. See, I'm glad I got my ass in gear and done this. Clinton, how you doing, bud? Man, Hawaii's taking a beating right now. Shit. And then helicopter crash yesterday over in Kauai. Kauai, that's right. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, Hawaii's just taking a beating. Oh boy. I love it. Late night burnouts with Danger Zone playing. You know, I gotta admit, and it's really cool to think about all the shit that we've all done, you know, within the last 3 years, with even longer than that. It's been a fun ride. It's been a really cool group. And, you know, it's all a recipe, right? You gotta have a little of this, a little of that. You gotta have excitement. You gotta have a little drama. You gotta have a little bullshit. You gotta have a little shit talking. And it all creates just an incredible meal. And, man, it's been fun. Man, it's been fun. Been on here almost 50 minutes. Reminder again about the rules. You know, make sure you guys go read them. No golf cart demolition derby. No. The Phoenix Slick is too wide. It's a 7-inch wide. If you're an NA car, you can run a Phoenix Slick, but the Power Adder cars have to run a 26.6 or the 215 6015 DOT M&H. So if Power Adder car, you only have 2 tires to choose from. If you're an NA car, you can kind of run whatever you want up to an 8.5 wide tire. Better late than never. Hopefully you guys had a good birthday day today. Let's see. Oh, Bob, I remember that. That was fun, but that wasn't a demolition derby. One more thing, Clyde has to bring stuff that's left over for the kids. My sister said she wants to go and take on the kids' events. If you sounds awesome. I know a lot of the kids that partook in all of the extracurricular activities that Doug and his team with Mike and Anton and Fire Marshal Mike. You know, the memories that these kids made, I mean, they're not going to forget them. God, I remember, you know, the night that I found out about Doug, and I mean, I was a wreck. I was a mess. And I went outside. I went out front because I wasn't, you know, my kids are going to see me. So I had to, you know, be able to explain what was going on. And, you know, between the two window lickers, you know, the youngest one just started bawling and was talking about, you know, Doug and flying kites and, you know, tie-dye and fireworks, and just was on and on and on and on about everything she did with Doug. And, you know, who's gonna do tie-dye? And, you know, it was difficult, and it still is. But Randy, that would be awesome. Okay, refresh. Okay. Pilot shit. There's room for one more. Aerial photos would be rad. See you guys at the races. Randy, I still have, you know, when I did the tie-dye shirts, you know, the agreement that I typically, you know, talked to Doug and Dee about is that I'll have all the shirts made up, and I promised I wouldn't sell them, you know, and I just wanted to hand them out for free to the kids. So I still have bins filled with some shirts, specifically for, you know, tie-dye. I'll have to make a count of what I got, but there was definitely a handful there. All right, I'm caught up on comments. 41, we're dwindling. 8:22. All right, we're almost on here for an hour. So I think it's time to wrap it up. If anyone has any questions and they haven't made a comment and you want to send me a message, send me a message. Everyone, for the most part, knows how to get a hold of me. And I promise I try to respond. I need to get better at responding quicker. But send me a message, and we'll go from there. But it felt good to get on here tonight and kind of, so yeah, it's good to get going. It's good to get my ass in gear. Definitely excited for the year, and excited to do it with you all and make some memories and do it for Doug. Anyway, let's call it a night. I appreciate everyone tuning in, and I'll check the schedule and the window liquor schedule and see. I'd like to continue to do my chit chats on like a Wednesday night. I don't really like doing it on Friday night because I think more of us are around on Wednesday night in the middle of the week, and do it at 6:30 or 7. But I'll keep everyone updated. I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight on a Friday night, and let's get ready to get this party started. All right. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate the racers, the fans, the tracks, the sponsors. I just appreciate everyone. I promise you that. All right. Everyone have a good evening. Have a good weekend, and we'll see more of you next week. All right. Ciao.